WhiskyJason here, Whiskey Live Dublin 2022, together with
Stephanie Shen.
Look at this selfie moment.
So I am the global brand ambassador for the Dublin Liberties Distillery. So we're a distillery that's based in Dublin.
Yep.
And today we have a couple of brands underneath the umbrella. We've got some Dubliner, Dead Rabbit, but today we're focusing on the Liberties range.
Yay! You were on Mark Gillespie. What show were you on? You were actually, or was it?
I was.
Yes.
I've been on a few.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen you before. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on Bartender at Large.
Yeah.
I was with Barry Chandler for those infamous lock-ins.
Okay, Barry. Yes, it was Barry, wasn't it? Yes, I think that's where I saw you.
And then also Uncorked.
Yes.
Yes.
See? All right, now you're WhiskyJason.
Oh my God,
so
I'm
that's good.
WhiskyJason.
Yay!
Oh my God, so I can just take that off.
Yes, you
now.
can.
I'm going to get an autograph after this. Is that okay? Yeah.
I'll get one from you as well. Okay, yeah, all right, very good.
Amazing. Okay,
So tell us the bottles we have here. Good.
Okay, so the bottles that we have here today, we have our Liberties range. So we've got, firstly, we have our Oak Devil. So this one's pretty new. So Oak Devil as a brand has been around for quite a while.
Yes.
But we've changed from a blend to a single malt. So
Excellent.
we just launched. So this one is our 5-year-old single malt. It is triple distilled, 46% ABV, non-chill filtered. And the reason that we chose to only finish it and mature it in ex-bourbon is because it really allows the flavor of the malts to shine through in the liquid.
All right.
So this one is lovely, sweet, delicious, and an entry into the world of the Liberties. Fun fact. The Liberties was really, really cool. So in the 1800s...
It still is cool.
It's still really cool. Well, it's cool right now because we're here.
Yeah.
Obviously. But in the 1800s, that was where you had the heart of distillation for Ireland. Yep. But there was a lot of other industries that flourished there as well. A lot of murder, a lot of gambling, a lot of prostitution.
Yes.
So what we like to do is, this is our premium range, but we still like to showcase all of the stories from the actual neighborhood. So the Oak Devil, the story goes that Liberties was known as hell, and there was an archway, so you had to walk under the archway, and in that archway was an Oak Devil carved.
Yep.
So it said you had to pass under the eye of the devil to get into hell. It's a perfect entry into our world of the Liberties.
Very good. Now, the Liberties Distillery do distill their own juice already. I own a cask there, but you have not been doing 5 years yet of production.
No.
So,
our distillery opened in 2019.
Yep.
So we're actually hitting our 3-year mark in July of this year.
Yeah.
But we're going to hold back.
Okay.
You know, we don't want to rush it. We don't want to put out liquid until we're 100% sure that it is the most delicious it can be. So at the moment we're working with source stock, but we've got 42 distilleries on the island. You know what I mean? And it's really exciting because it means that the next 5 years of Irish whiskey are going to be super exciting.
Yes.
Because everybody's going to be releasing their own stuff. I've also tasted our new malt.
New make, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's lovely. It's really, really fruity.
Yep.
It's delicious. And I am fully confident that it's going to be phenomenal when we're actually putting it into bottles.
That's why I own a cask.
Yes. Oh my God.
I'm also convinced.
Yes. Yeah. So you've tasted it.
Yes, I have.
Sweet liquid from the distillery.
Yes.
So incredible. So we're working with source stock just for these guys.
What's the price of the Oak Devil in Ireland?
In Ireland, it's around between 45 and 49 euros.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent.
Next up, then we have our Copper Alley.
Yeah.
So this is our 10-year-old single malt. This is, in my opinion, one of the best whiskeys on the market if you're looking at quality versus price.
I agree.
Yes! Oh my gosh! I swear I didn't pay him to say this. This one is one of my favorites. So it's actually double distilled as opposed to triple distilled. It's bottled at 46% ABV. It's non-chill filtered, so it has an incredible mouthfeel. What's really fun about this is that it was actually aged for 10 years in an ex-bourbon cask, but we take it out and we put it into 30-year-old Oloroso sherry butts. So if you imagine, it was used for over 30 years to make Oloroso sherry. I always like to describe it as Christmas cake you found in an attic.
Yeah.
The marketing team disagree with that, but I'm like, no, but this is what it tastes like. It really is, yeah. And the story of Copper Alley is pretty cool as well. So it was actually home to the most infamous brothel called the Maidenhead Tower. Where we had Ireland's first female serial killer, a very famous lady known as Darky Kelly. So she was really fun. So the story goes that there was a tiny strip of copper in the cobblestones, and if you knew what you were looking for, you could follow the strip of copper to a secret door. Yes! And that way you could enter the brothel super secretively.
Okay, wow.
I mean, like, the story said that, it was very easy to enter and very hard to get out of, and they found 6 bodies in the basement. So, possibly, not somewhere you definitely wanted to go, but I mean, like, you got to take chances in life.
That's one way of looking at it. Very good. Yeah.
So next up we have our 13-year-old. So this one, oh my.
Oh my.
So this one is triple distilled as opposed to double distilled. Again, we're following the same DNA. For the Liberties range, they're all 46% ABV. They're all non-chill filtered. It always adds really nice mouthfeel. For this one, it's 13 years in an ex-bourbon cask, and then we take it out and we put it into Tokai seasoned Hungarian oak.
Yeah.
Now this is the only single malt, Irish or Scotch, that has this finish. So Hungarian oak tends to be really dry, really spicy. There's a little bit of bitterness you don't typically find in oak. But the Tokai is a sweet Hungarian wine, and oh my gosh, the balance is incredible. So you're getting all of these beautiful floral notes. You get chrysanthemum, you get jasmine on the nose, a lot of gorse flower. Then you get all these tropical fruits. But if you're sitting with this for a while, or even add a tiny drop of water, suddenly that Hungarian oak comes like barreling to the fore. That's when you're going to get a lot more earthiness, you're going to get some coffee, you're going to get a lot more spice. It's a phenomenal liquid, and one of the most unique whiskies on the market right now. And also, obviously, it's called Murder Lane. So
true to your theme.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I also really like they saved it for the 13, so it's like, oh yeah, you've got the Oak Devil. It's like, that's a nice introduction. Copper Alley, it's like, oh, serial killer. Oh, okay. Then we have Murder
Lane. You really just bam, go for it.
Like, woo-hoo. So for Murder Lane, essentially it was an unmarked alleyway where they called it Murdering Lane for almost 400 years. And when they had an announcement with the city council, they were like, or a meeting, and the guy's like, maybe we should change the name. And they all laughed. And they were like, well, how will people know that you don't go there if you don't want to get murdered? And he was like, yeah, but what about the tourists? What do we do then? And then they were like, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe we should change the name. I will say, if you were planning a murder, not that I can do a murder, but if you were to plan a murder, it's actually a really good spot. Like, I can see now why people chose it so regularly through the 1600s. And then we get on to our final products. Now this one, I know I was very excited about the 13.
But we're even more excited about this one.
Oh my gosh, the 16-year-old. Oh, this is like great, truly great, quintessential Irish whiskey. So this is triple distilled, single malt, and it is aged for 16 years in an ex-bourbon. But then, take it out. We put it into a 250-liter Pedro Jimenez hogshead cask. I love EX Sherry. So this is almost like liquefied raisins with loads of Christmas spice and whiskey all together. How could you go wrong? The 46% ABV, the non-chill filtering, all that stuff adds together to make what I believe is one of the greatest Irish whiskies on the market.
Yep.
If you like Irish whiskey, you need to taste some of this.
Very good. And the recommended retail price is a little bit more.
It's a little bit more. It's like $3.50.
Yeah, exactly.
16 years old. Yep. It's getting harder and harder to find malt. So, or you could just come to a whiskey show, find my face, and then taste a little sample.
Yeah, that's very easy. Very easy, isn't it? That's great.
I always tell people that this is the kind of whiskey you're going to dream about.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to wake up in a cold sweat and be like, I should have bought a bottle of that 16-year-old. Yeah. So when you taste it, $3.50 suddenly doesn't look that bad.
Exactly. Especially that experience.
Yeah.
Now, talking about bottles, can you bring up the king of hell?
Oh my gosh. Okay,
So, talking about bottles that are a little bit more expensive. Be careful. Don't let it drop. Don't drop it.
Okay, so I'm always terrified. Like my palms are sweaty because I'm holding this bottle. So this is our new batch 2 of King of Hell. It's very warm in here, but my temperature increased by 5 degrees just holding the bottle. So this is a 27-year-old. It's actually double distilled, and it's slightly peated malt. It is incredible. It's again 46% ABV. It's again non-chill filtered. Incredible mouthfeel. That peat adds lovely smoke in the background. It's not overpowering. It's really in the background. You get a lot of barbecued banana. You're getting a lot of grilled peaches, and there's so much spice on this. There's a little bit of leather in there as well. It's one of those that you really need to sit down and like spend time with it. This is a whiskey you want to get to know.
Yes.
And it's for €2,700. You know, you're going to want to create that time.
Now, the last bottle did not have the crown. Whose idea was that? Yours?
Oh my God, well, I'm always like, can you not tell by my aesthetic? I'm like, we need to go darker.
Yes.
Everything needs to be darker. We should have crowns. Let's have crowns everywhere. But with this bottle, it comes not only with, so you got your bottle, you got your crown, you also have a little stand as well. And I'll show you guys. This is really cool.
Yes, the sample in the box. I'll take. Okay, good. Oh, got a mini crown. I didn't see that.
It's a mini crown.
And it's a skull.
Yeah. So this, I was like, okay. So as a whiskey person, I was like, if you're gonna spend €2,000 or any amount of money that's over like a few hundred on a bottle, you need to be able to taste it.
Yep.
So the idea was, you have a tiny little sample, so you can taste your sample, and if you're like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever put inside my mouth, then you're going to want to drink the whole bottle. And if you taste it and you're like, you know what, this is incredible, but it's not really my cup of tea, you can then still sell on the bottle, because this is still unsealed. It's 700. This bottle here, that's making my palms sweaty.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just really, really amazing. And you know, there's a lot of people that collect just for display as well. So if you're going to collect for display, €2,000, €2,700, it's quite a lot of money. So having a little taste, at least then you know, when you're looking at your beautiful bottle in its beautiful case, which I'll show you in a second, and you're like, oh my God, you know what? That was baller. That was a really good whiskey. So yeah, the little tiny skull and crown. And once you drink it, you can just put it back in the box and it still looks really pretty.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the box now.
Yay. This is a little bit of a delicate operation. Do you need help?
Possibly.
Possibly. All right, good.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, okay. How many people does it take to carry a whiskey box?
In this case, too.
So, we have it covered in some leather, with some gloss. We've got a little tiny tag on the back here. Just a little crown, because there's never enough crowns.
Nope.
And then when you open it up, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we've got Do What Thou Wilt. So this is really us pushing into the decadence. And thank you.
I'll be your Vanessa Williams.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you can never leave now. You can never leave. You stay here. So we have a little booklet that tells the story. So the King of Hell is actually a really cool guy. I mean, depending on what your definition of cool is.
Yeah.
But he was known as the King of Hell. He was actually one of the original founders for the Freemasons in Ireland.
Okay.
And he was an all-round wild character. So there was a lot of stories of like satanic rituals. Apparently, Do What Thou Wilt was the kind of tagline for his little Hellfire club that he was a part of. And it was all-round just kind of wild. So we take off the Do What Thou Wilt.
Yep.
And then you can see here, you may have noticed that we've got kind of a V. This is for the Liberties we also have here. So just a little subtle branding in there. But yeah, so beautiful box. When the bottle is sitting in, which I'm too afraid to do it while it's freestanding.
Don't worry.
It's very, very beautiful. The crown sits here. Lovely. And then we've got this little drawer, and I'll just show you guys. This is really cool. It's a little padded cushion. So we got a little cushion where the little guy with the little crown sits. And there's a light. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a little tiny light. Let me just go. There's a little tiny light in there, so that every time you open the drawer, then your little skull guy is going to just
illuminate it.
Side of his face. You know what I mean? So yeah, so this is really, really fancy schmancy, beautiful box. And yeah, you also get, so this is for batch 2. So we've done a kind of a whole new package design for batch 2. So you get the batch 2, it's engraved here, and you also get the bottle number.
Excellent.
So there were 204 bottles.
Yes.
We currently have bottle number 4.
Ooh.
And so this is one of the first bottles to actually be fully packaged. So that's why I brought it here today, to be like, look at our shiny new bottle. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I think we can find you
DLD.com, thedld.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very, very good. And you're very active on Instagram, I think?
Yes, so if you want to follow me on Instagram, I am and then Cocktail Shen. So SHEN. That's my surname.
Very good. Whiskey Jason here. Bye-bye.
Bye.